Many of you know that I have worked incessantly for the Ethereum technology for the last 3 years. That work was in average 14 hours a day, every day. No weekends or vacations. And it was entirely volunteering. I have not applied for grants for the last 10 projects, nor accepted any offered grants for my other 2 projects. And this effort is proven by my GitHub profile. And not receiving money is proven by no public entity having any proof of giving me a grant or even applying. What clearer way to prove that your intent is set on making the world more moral in this ecosystem where people advertise the money they got from buying and selling digital currencies than simply not wanting the money? And I want to find other people and projects who, like me, are volunteers for the ideals that Ethereum put forth, who are ready to give their efforts to building tools and structures for a more moral world, who are not into decentralized technologies just so they can sell people's dreams for money. I want to find the Higher Ethereum volunteers. I know they exist. I am turning to my video content audience after I tried to find this information from Twitter and from the Ethereum custodians, the Ethereum Foundation. Who better to know the status of the Ethereum ecosystem, all the existing Ethereum projects, and especially the volunteers for Ethereum, than the organization who created Ethereum and the people whose job it is to connect projects to one another. But the Ethereum Foundation does not have such a list, and has no interest in having such a list. The Ethereum Foundation has a list with all the projects who received grants from them, but it refuses to even acknowledge persons or projects who have not been supported financially by the EF. As such, my question about volunteer projects that can be solved by simply asking the community has remained unanswered and unshared by the people whose job it is to protect the best interest of Ethereum. I asked my Twitter followers and got only one answer, with a link to a grant proposal on Gitcoin. But I was also given the idea to start an open source list. So I started the Higher Ethereum. So I'm asking you to do a pull request and add people and projects who are worthy of the categories. I will explain why volunteers are crucial for any system that wants to maintain a moral backbone. By definition, a volunteer cannot be bought. His allegiance is based on higher principles than those of a transactional nature. A true volunteer helps not because there is something transactional to gain, but because his actions make the world a better place to live in for others, and secondarily for themselves. As such, volunteers can be less affected by bias, by the corruption specific to that particular system, and they are tools for change. They can influence the system itself to change for the better simply by the power of example. Volunteers have the best position for being whistleblowers. They have the best moral platform to put forth the shortcomings and corruption of a system, because they have put their effort already into that system. They have provable good intent without any doubt. Volunteers are also stakers, not in money, but in the technology itself. They keep the underlying technology to not become corrupt, and they are essential for a proof of stake system. Therefore, any project advertised as a common good for Ethereum must prove it by prioritizing volunteers. In the very same way that token stakers are rewarded with financial incentives, the volunteers have to be honored and their work known and their pleas heard. I am starting right now to do my part in helping other volunteers. I am working to make them known together with their projects. I'll retweet their releases, maybe even make videos for the important ones. I will also release early my own work to them as an effective support that does not change their volunteer status. This is all I have to say for today.